A retail media network is really when the retailers set up an advertising platform on their website, on their apps, or any other digital platforms that they own. This allows them and the other brands to advertise to the customers. So really, it's a form of in-store advertisement, but in a digital format. And it also enables the advertisers to reach the shoppers at the varied stages of their buyer journey. And it's really transforming the advertising landscape in a positive way, because with the vast amount of permissioned first-party data that the retailers have, including, SKU level transactions data that they can use to create this sort of closed loop understanding and closed loop measurement to validate the advertisers and the brand's investments. Yes, retail media is about data and analytics, is about ad operations, is about stepping into a new world for the retailers in many ways. But the first step of it all, that is the most traditional one. And that's about making sure that you have a strong way to manage your partner relations and to create incentives for them to invest with you and to create incremental value for the brands to continue investing with you. And this is also what we see. I mean, we speak with retailers. I think one of the responsibilities or one of the first action items that I would recommend for retailers is to adopt the state of mind of understanding that no supplier has unlimited budget. It is a world of competing priorities, and retailers really need to help the brands understand where to look at and how to focus their objectives in order to attract their fundings. I think it's also about delivering focus with solutions that are easy to use and easy to work with. It's a different conversation. It's no longer the usual shelf talk or the usual shop talk that they were used to have. Here, agility is key. The ability to enable the brands to react promptly makes it more of an incentive for them to invest with you. And the third pillar is about, helping the brands understand, I like to call it how high is high when discussing their investments, because allocating media spend is something that, of course, you have best practices, of course, you have benchmarks, but it is always very difficult to understand, okay, where am I going to put my budget? How am I going to do this? And as retailers, in order to help the brands, I think the importance here is to have enough transparency and enough collaboration to understand the right metrics for them and for their objectives. And this is really where the idea of the missing piece of the retail media coming from retail media intelligence comes into play. Metrics such as ROAS, return on ad spend, they will only take you so far, because your brands, your shoppers marketing teams, they need to be able to show their management that they need more funding. They need to show sales lift, they need to show volume. And so they have to be objectives driven. I think the retailers fully understand how complex it is. And so they find themselves, when thinking about the potential of retail media and how to harness it, as really at a crossroad, because it's either that they would, opt to buy existing technology, or they're going to strike strategic partnerships to do so. And that makes sense, because building an ad network is in itself, it's not a small undertaking. So, of course, you have, the core of the retail media activity that is led by the Amazon and the Walmart of the world, who are really creating an empire of tech, and that their offering is sitting on those technologies. But they also have an incredible amount of resources that they can allocate to this. And I think the real question is here, and we see this when we meet with the teams we work with, and when we meet with our prospects at ciValue, is that for the smaller retailers, the ones that are not, the Walmart and the Amazon of the world, the task doesn't have to be so daunting. It doesn't have to be a full-blown retail media network. What our teams do today is mostly around, creating collaborative ads or leveraging hyper-segmentation in order to create audiences with their brands through third-party media sellers, and be able to monetize their data in order to create such audiences and to report on the performance of the content created for these audiences. So not all data and media monetization efforts really requires a full-blown retail media network. Retailers can start small by offering their brand partners placements on high traffic pages or on their mobile apps, extension to digital and social medias to better reach the customers. So there's really a plethora of solutions that can be offered to the brands around the notion of retail media. And one thing that needs to be taken into account when creating a retail media strategy is really the importance of the measurement and the ability to close the loop in the reporting with what is happening digitally and what is happening in stores. And another thing that I think is very important to mention, we talk about retail media as this new trend, but really it's an extension of already existing programs. It's not about reinventing the wheel. You need to be able to build on your existing programs for sharing insights with your brand and your ability to integrate ads in the way you conceive personalization, in the way you already share personalized offers with your customers. I think one of the best examples of that is the digital shelf, where you can put product recommendations, personalized offers in real time, as well as content that is promotional, and that integrates the diverse efforts that you may be leading for more loyalty, for more personalization, and to command customers' attention.